Welcome to another episode of Marketing School. I'm Eric Su.
And I'm Neil Patel.
And today we're going to talk about why good marketers copy and great marketers steal. So actually, there's an anecdote. I actually just thought of something when I was, this is more like a gaming example, but when I was playing this game called EverQuest growing up, and we were playing in this tournament called the Best of the Best Championships. And I had no tactics, no strategies going into it. But I saw this German person that was beating everyone else, just crushing everyone. And they were using like this one strategy. And I was like, oh, that looks cool. I'm going to copy it. And literally what I did, because I lost to everyone in practice rounds before, when I got in, I copied that strategy. I literally beat that person barely, and I beat everyone else to win the championship. And that's how I learned that stealing is one of the best tactics, not only in marketing, but in real life as well, I guess in gaming. Yeah.
When it comes to marketing, you don't have to innovate. There's nothing wrong with stealing. Of course, you don't want to plagiarize. You don't want to go out there and get sued for something like taking people's trademark or their brand and just copying that. Like, that's not going to work well. But copying their tactics, their strategies is a good idea. I did a survey to 208 companies, and I asked them where they spend their marketing dollars, what channels, and what drives the biggest conversions. Most people spend the majority of their marketing dollars on Google AdWords and Facebook ads. If they look at the channel that provides the biggest ROI, it's typically SEO, because you don't have to keep investing money time and time again to keep getting more results and growing your traffic. But in general, paid ads is much more scalable. So I looked at companies all the way from over $1 million in revenue to hundreds of millions in revenue. And the one thing that I constantly learned was, hey, you don't have to do sexy marketing channels to do well. You can go take the basics, use tools like SEMrush, Ahrefs, what runs where, spy on your competition, learn from them, try to either one-up them or take their same strategy. Even if you don't do as well as them, but you do half as good as them, it can still be potentially profitable, and you'll probably be better off than where you are today.
Yeah, so practically, I mean, I like looking at GrowthHackers.com is a good resource, and Inbound.org is now defunct. Rand Fishkin now has a site called Sparktoro.com/trending that talks about new news around not just marketing, but kind of business and tech in general. And so that's where I kind of get my knowledge. And then from there, I use this framework, and then Neil's agency also does this as well. It's the traction framework. It's called the Entrepreneur's Operating System. I believe it's by Gino Wickman. But constantly keeping this cadence of running experiments, talking through issues, marketing issues for your content team, your advertising team, whatever different teams that you have, is going to allow you to create the leverage where you don't necessarily need to think of all the ideas. You can just bring up the issues. You can talk through your ideas, but leveraging, if you do have a team, leveraging the team, you're able to move a lot faster that way, and you're able to execute a lot faster. So that's going a little too deep into kind of the traction framework. But again, I like you can look at this podcast, for example. You could look at Neil's blog. You can look at, we just talked about Billie Jean, Grant Cardone, Ty Lopez, Alex Becker. How do they go about leveraging and building these followings? And you can just take that and figure out how you can ethically steal that and make it something successful.
When it comes to stealing, it's all about speed and execution. Funny enough, what you'll find is similar to Eric's story and how he beat the person that he stole the tactic from. If you steal from people who are slower executors, in which probably a lot of people will, you can actually do better than them. So it's not about being the first. It's about stealing what's working and executing much, much faster.
I mean, look, let's look at Facebook. Facebook wasn't necessarily the first social network. They definitely weren't the first one to come up with stories, right?
No, that's called, Peter Thiel calls it last mover's advantage.
Yeah.
Right? Facebook steals a lot of stuff. They want to go after Snapchat and crush them. What did they do? They just copy everything in Snapchat. They want to get people away from Twitter. What did they do? They just copy a lot of the features and go right after them. And again, they're just not copying. They're like literally jacking the features, like not pixel for pixel, but close enough to it, fitting it within their app. And they're just like, we want to crush Snapchat. Let's put in all their features within Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, and let's see what happens to them. And yeah, they may not crush them at the first pass, but over time, they're just eating away at their market share.
Yeah, so anyway, without adding too much more to this, look at what you can go out there. Look, there's so much learnings out there. There's so many things to convert into just basically into your own. Make it original. And with that being said, nothing else to add, right?
No, nothing for mine.
Go to singlegrain.com/giveaway to get marketing goodies to grow your business, and see you tomorrow.